State strikes first.
It cracked his helmet.
Henderson breaks free. House call for Ohio State. The Buckeyes can begin planning for Pasadena. There is Smith roaming free. Breaks a tackle. Ohio State strikes quickly. Caught in stride. Abuka touchdown. Buckeyes on fire. It's a Crimson avalanche here in Pasadena. Sawyer knocked it out and picks it up. Ohio State scoop and score. Heavy pressure. Howard delivers downfield. And Smith, he's got it. And Ohio State, who's going to walk out of Atlanta national champions.
The story gets to get told now, and it's a great story about a bunch of guys who have just overcome some really tough situations. There's a lot of people that counted us out. It's the reason why you get into coaching, to see guys overcome things, learn life lessons, and then reach their dreams.
College football national champion, Coach Ryan Day, and the Ohio State Buckeyes.
What's going on, Buckeye Nation? It was quite the weekend for Ohio State as they dominate Illinois 34-16, getting a victory on the road in Champaign versus 17th ranked team in the country. Indiana goes to Autzen Stadium, introduces themselves again, and lets the nation know that we are for real and are now a top 3 team in the country. The Indiana freaking Hoosiers. I love it, and I'm here for it. And then, of course, we saw Michigan just get embarrassed on the road versus the USC Trojans. They didn't show up. They didn't. We're never in contention to win that game from the kickoff. Let's be completely honest about that. But we're going to cover Ohio State versus Illinois first. The Buckeyes really dominated from start to finish, jumped out to that 20-0 lead, and then Illinois kind of came back a little bit, made it a 10-point game, and then Ohio State just pulled away again. So never really in doubt the outcome of this contest, man. But how do you think the Buckeyes performed on the road in Champaign, Rob?
There was not one sense of urgency on my part watching this game. It just seemed like, Matt Patricia was putting together another masterclass. Yes, they gave up their first red zone touchdown of the season, actually 2 red zone touchdowns that game. But you know what? It took Illinois to do it for a trick play, and the other one, yeah, sure, it was a passing touchdown. But amazing stat that I saw before they gave up that touchdown: Ohio State hadn't given up a touchdown in 18 quarters. That is elite. But other than that, dude, I just, they robbed Jeremiah Smith of a catch. I think it was 35 yards.
Yeah.
And he had fallen out of bounds with the ball possession, and literally they were down, and the defender pried the ball out literally the last second. But it didn't make sense, man. He was out of bounds, down, and it was like one of those, like, just didn't make sense as to why it wasn't complete.
It's becoming the catch rule is becoming confusing, a lot like the NFL. It really sucks to see. It's undefinable, it seems. Announcers don't understand it. Replay officials that are brought on TV to explain it don't understand it, and it's just confusing, and it kind of ticks me off a little bit. But yeah, he was robbed of a catch there for sure.
Yeah, so let's look at the stats for the offense.
Yeah, buddy.
We have Julian Say 19 for 27, 166 yards, 2 touchdowns. Now, in terms of yards, not very impressive, but dude,
sure.
he keeps doing what Ryan Day's asking him to do. Don't make mistakes. Lead the offense down the field, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's not turning the ball over, and that's exactly what we need. We need a leader, a game manager, someone who's calm, cool, collective, and just doesn't make mistakes. And that is Julian saying. So it's just like, I'm not mad that he's not putting up, Justin Fields numbers or CJ Stroud numbers.
Sure.
at times Will Howard, but dude, they got out of there with the win. Bo Jackson also caught a touchdown. Well, it was a swing pass out it was actually a screen pass out in the flats, and he
Yeah.
took it in for I think a 20-yard score. You had Jeremiah Smith's touchdown pass at the end of the game, but I really like the toughness of the run game at the goal line. They're getting a lot of better at that. CJ Donaldson barreled in 2 or 3 times, but going back
Okay.
to
Interesting. Okay.
yeah, yeah, CJ Donaldson got
Yeah,
I
I know he had 2 touchdowns there.
yeah, he got 2 touchdowns, but
He's
just
definitely our battering ram.
yeah, just overall, if you look at the rushing yards, 106
Wasn't a great
yards.
day.
Yeah, dude, the offense didn't
Well,
wasn't overwhelming. It was kind of underwhelming, but it
a,
was the
a lot of
defense.
it though is I think a result is we had really short fields. We forced 3 turnovers
Yeah.
and got the ball in plus territory on 2 of those opportunities. And there was another bad punt where we had another short field. So it wasn't like the offense wasn't moving the ball. Now, I don't think they rushed the ball particularly well versus Illinois. It's 109 yards rushing on the day. That's pretty pedestrian. But it wasn't like the offense wasn't performing. They just didn't have to go very far.
Yeah, that's right. So you had the interception at the beginning by Pierce.
Yep. Peyton Pierce.
Then and then you had Jermaine Matthews strip sack.
Yes, sir.
And what was that? What was that third turnover? I forget what it
I believe it
was.
was another Altmaier interception, but I can't remember who got it for Ohio State. I think it was, but yeah,
I
there were
mean, I can look at the player stat real quick. Altmaier only threw 1 interception, so it
so
was it
just
was
the
actually
one.
it was actually 2 turnovers, man. It was the
I
interception
know
in the
we had 3
beginning,
on the
and
day
then
though.
no, we didn't. And it was also the strip sack by Jermaine Matthews. He was coming off the edge.
Yeah, maybe I'm
So
misremembering it, but I remember looking at the stats post game and there being 3. So I think we're forgetting one, but either way, I think it might have just been a turnover on downs. It might not have been actual like physical taking of the ball per se, but
oh, so there were 2 fumbles, man. I don't remember what that other fumble was.
yeah, okay, yeah, it can't come to my mind right now either. Um, but I think those were the big things. I mean, there were 3 turnovers to our 0. They had they were 4 of 14 on third down. Though that's why Ohio State continues to keep on winning, man. They keep on getting off the field on third downs. Like they're just dominant. And nobody can move the ball. They can't. Our defense doesn't allow offenses to sustain drives, and it's winning us a lot of football games. And now we're starting to force turnovers, and that's exciting to see as well. So a dominant performance.
So wait,
But,
keeping that third down statistic that you're talking about for the defense, they really
Mhm.
do know how to get off the field. So Ohio State is currently second in terms of third downs, only giving up
Yeah.
17 out of 78 third downs.
That's absurd, man.
That is absurd. And the thing is, dude, so Texas A&M is actually number 1. They've only given up 16 out of 77. So
Respect.
look out for that one. I mean,
How about the Aggies?
Indiana's up there too, dude, only giving up 18 out of 77.
Wow,
So, but
that's
dude,
phenomenal too.
Ohio State, I mean, even after this game, they're only giving up 226 yards a game. They're only giving up 6.6, averaging 6.65 points per game against their defense. They're still, even though they give up 2 in the red zone, they're still number 1 overall in the red zone, which
Oh yeah,
this defense, dude, it's
top scoring defense in the
night
nation.
and day, man. Night and day.
Yeah,
So
they're they've once again we keep pounding about it, but they found a way to improve from being the nation's #1 defense last year, and it's astounding. Matt Patricia's been an upgrade. We see what Jim Knowles has done at Penn State, and he probably won't be employed too much longer as Franklin lost his job. We'll definitely talk to about that a little bit later as well. But Man, 6-0 feels good, and like you said, offensively, like it wasn't a record breaking day, but Carnell Tate had a good performance, and Bo Jackson performed well. He was our leading rusher again, but
He was looking hurt, dude. He was hobbling
he
around a
looked a
bit.
little gimpy.
Yeah.
He did look a
Also,
little gimpy, especially after that one hit. Yeah,
one
yeah,
thing I still want to see Ohio State improve on. I know they scored 2 or 3 times, but dude, the score could have been much higher, dude. They had to
yeah.
kick field goals at times in the red zone, dude. And just like
Two early field goals in the red
when
zone again. That has been a problem for Ohio State this year, if you ask me.
when
Maybe
you
that's nitpicking, but it seems like we stall out in the red zone a lot more than we
yeah,
should.
when you get
More than we
against
should.
when you go up against tougher opponents,
Right.
especially in the playoffs, man,
That's
you
going to rear its head.
you got to find ways to score in the red zone, dude. Especially if they meet Indiana in the Big Ten championship.
Yeah. You have to finish drives. Seriously. It's why we've lost a lot of games to Michigan recently. We can't finish in the red zone versus them. Hopefully we change that this year, but yeah, offensively, man, we look great, and obviously, as we covered the defense, just phenomenal effort and continuing to look just like the absolute best defense I've ever seen. 2002 was right up there with them, but I think just athlete-wise, we have more athletes than the 2002 defense did, and so I think they get the nod. But yeah, man, that was a good road win.
There's one thing that I really like about this offense, man.
What's that?
The time possession, dude. They
Yeah,
control the time possession,
I
33
know.
minutes, 11 seconds, man. Dude, they have been averaging at least a little over 30 minutes a game in terms of sustaining drives, taking time off the
Mhm.
clock. We've never seen this before under Ryan Day.
It's it's
We've seen these, these fast drives that finish just like that, and just
yep,
like
explosive plays.
a minute off the clock, 2 minutes off the clock, 3 minutes off the clock. They're sustaining at least 8-minute drives, man.
Yeah,
7, 8, 9-minute drives.
it's it's been an adjustment period for me because we've been so used to Day and Urban with fast, explosive plays, and the defense, not being quite as tight as under Jim Tressel was. But that's how Jim Tressel won games, man. Time of possession, running down your throat, elite defense, forced turnovers, and it's fun to see again, man, because it's what we grew up with watching ball control football,
Dude,
and
so
days evolving.
yeah. So here's what I was thinking. Not trying to talk about Michigan already, but dude, like Michigan has been having problems scoring to begin with. Could you imagine going against Ohio State, who just controls time possession, against a Michigan team who has trouble scoring to begin in the first place, and they don't have many opportunities to even get the ball?
You can bleed out games like that. Yep, pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Especially Michigan's not even really good at converting third downs. Their third down conversion percentage is not great either on offense. And so, and when you combine that against the stat that you gave earlier, my goodness gracious, man, it could be a fun one. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves either because we've had some humbling the last few years, but things look good for that showdown in Ann Arbor. But speaking of the Wolverines, I guess let's transition to them. Unless you want to talk about Indiana, Oregon first.
Let's
Um,
talk about Indiana, Oregon first, because
I like that. I like
that
that.
was a
How
really
about the
exciting
Hoosiers,
game,
man?
man.
They're for real, bro.
I
They're
called it,
absolutely
man.
for real.
I called it.
Yeah,
I
they
I
they are
go ahead.
coming. They are
I
coming, man. People who don't believe in Indiana, who wrote off last year, they're getting a real lesson because Indiana just took out the Ducks in Autzen, something we couldn't even do last year. And they have arrived, like officially arrived. They are a legit national title contender, if you ask me. They have a serious chance of making a very deep run in the playoffs. And it's because they're physical in the freaking trenches. That's how you win in the Big Ten, and they're very good at it. Something I've never seen in my lifetime from the Hoosier program.
Yeah. So if you, dude, they controlled Indiana. They controlled the time possession, 33 minutes and 10 seconds, man, and just like their their rushing yards 111, their passing yards 215, total yards 326. Third down efficiency, they were 5 for 14. They only gave up one sack.
Decent.
Dude, they sacked the Oregon. They sacked Dante Moore 6 times, dude.
Yeah, they
They
got
only,
after him.
so it's just like, dude, um, they won the turnover battle, and
Yep.
it came down to it came down to scheme, coaching,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
who would make the least mistakes, and that was Indiana that game. I mean,
Without
yeah,
question.
you had that one interception at the beginning. Mendoza threw that pick six. But other than that,
Yep.
dude, they played some solid football,
Yeah.
controlled time possession. They caused some turnover. They caused Oregon to turn over the ball twice. They capitalized off those, and it's just like they did everything right in order to win that football game. And hats off to Kurt Signetti, dude. I mean, people are giving him so much crap about just talking smack and not really delivering, and this just shows that
Yeah.
his formula is here to stay, and it's gotten better since last year. And dude, I wouldn't be surprised, man. Like if they may not win the Big Ten championship, but I could see them
Mhm.
making a deep run in the playoffs.
Sure. Yeah.
They
No,
they,
there's
uh, they have a lot of the team left, back from last season, and,
yeah.
they said they were Kurt Signetti even said they were feeling a certain way, just not discouraged, but they were just pissed after that Notre Dame game, and
Sure, sure.
they just you could just tell that this team is more seasoned, they have more chemistry. Kurt Signetti has really found his footing. I mean, it's not like he was bad last year, just that he just didn't win against teams that had the better rosters
Right.
and just the talent gap. But now it's just like, okay, it seems like, it's all coming together for them and just a great win. So the last team to win Autzen Stadium was Indiana in 2004.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Jeez. Tack on. That's crazy, man. Yeah, we got to understand this wasn't a fluke win. Like it wasn't because Oregon played badly. No, Indiana just took it to them. They completely deserved the win. There was no fluky nature about this. There was no, oh, if Oregon had just done this or this play could have gone differently and Oregon could have won. No, Indiana was in control of that contest and they rammed it down their throats with the run game. Mendoza passed all over them and they absolutely dominated on the field. They only won by a touchdown, but they absolutely took it to the Ducks. And I thought they performed well, but I thought Oregon would pull away late in the fourth, and it never happened. Indiana kept their foot on their throat and are a serious contender for everything that college football has to offer. So I'm excited for the Hoosier Nation and Hoosier program. Um, they are having a dominant defense, which Allen had some good defenses when he was there. Tom Allen, of course, but outside of Allen, I've never seen a defense like this from the Hoosiers. They are ferocious, and they get after the freaking quarterback, like you mentioned.
Oh, I'm sorry, I got the stat wrong. So the last team that beat Oregon out at Autzen Stadium was Washington 2022, but it was saying the last time Indiana beat Oregon Autzen Stadium was in 2004. But
Oh,
dude,
okay,
going on
interesting.
you're talking about defense, dude. They sacked Dante Moore 6 times, man,
Yeah, yeah,
and they caused 2 interceptions, and they were able to get off the field. Now usually, uh usually Oregon is great on third downs. They're only
yeah,
3 for 14, but I will say they were 3 for 4 on fourth down. But still, man, like they only had the ball for 26 minutes 50 seconds to Indiana's 33 minutes and 10 seconds. So Indiana definitely did its job to get off the field and let their offense churn out the clock and and seal the win. So
yeah. And looking at Indiana's remaining schedule, man, like the only questionable game, and it's really not questionable anymore because James Franklin is gone, is Indiana traveling to Happy Valley. There's a realistic shot they're undefeated ending the season. I mean, there's not many tests left on the schedule. Let's just be completely honest. So
man.
the Hoosiers are staring down the face of a 12-0 regular season, and I'm here for it. That could be a 1-2 matchup in Indy for the Big Ten title, and then for the number 1 seed in the playoffs.
I mean, dude, like they're gonna absolutely murder Michigan State. They're gonna absolutely kill UCLA. Maybe Maryland could give them kind of a test, but dude,
Maryland has a good offense.
Penn State,
but they always fade.
Penn State could give them a shot, depending
on how the players respond. Yeah,
yeah, and then Wisconsin, Luke Fickell's given up, and Purdue. That's no.
So I'm saying, man, like
anything, man.
Out of those teams, I'd say Maryland has the best shot, and I wouldn't say it's a very good one because they always suck in November or in late October. So,
I mean, dude, if you look at Indiana in 2023, dude, how many games do they win? Like,
not many.
not many. And now it's year 2 of Kirk Cignetti, and there's a great chance that they're undefeated heading into the Big Ten championship. So,
what kind of bizarre world are we living in? I love it. I'm here for it, man. And programs are going to come and try and poach Cignetti. Penn State's probably coming after him. Wisconsin might even come after him. But I hope he stays in Bloomington with the NIL. They've got the facilities. They're building right now. And I hope he continues to build a dynasty there. It's really fun to see the Hoosiers winning and having success and having a packed out Memorial Stadium. That's freaking awesome to see because it gets raucous in there. They know how to turn up for basketball, but to see them do it for football, it's been a lot of fun. Yeah. I think I'm going to call it now. I think the Hoosiers are undefeated and do make the Big Ten championship game.
Yeah, dude.
And if they are, man, can you imagine Indiana being a 1 seed in the college football playoffs? Like, think about that. What?
And you do know you do know for dang sure if Ohio State's there, Cignetti's gonna remember when Will Howard went like this and then flicked down to cigarette and stepping. He's gonna remember that, dude. He is.
He's that petty kind of guy, no doubt.
So
he'll hang on to that for motivation, no question about it. Now, how about the Wolverines, man? They traveled out to the LA to the Coliseum to take on Lincoln Riley team that looks like every other Lincoln Riley team I've ever seen.
A high
dominant offense, terrible defense, and they shut down a pathetic Wolverine offense.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, dude, the total yards for USC was 489, and this was the most impressive stat of the game because Michigan was heading into this game with the 15th best rushing defense, only giving up, I think, 90
under 100 yards a game for sure.
Yards a game. They gave up 224 rushing yards, and that was to a freshman, King Miller. What was his name? King Miller.
King Miller.
He's a freshman.
Went off,
and he went off oh my gosh, dude, 224 yards, man.
And he got me out of my seat.
Here's the funny thing. So the guy before him, he was number 2. Let me look at this real quick. Oh yeah, Jordan Wayman. He was actually the starter. And
you gotta feed the hand that's hot.
Justin Hayes got hurt. King Miller went off for 18 carries, 158 yards, 8.8 yards per carry. That was the average. God. And he had 1 touchdown. And here's what happened when Jordan Marshall came in the game. He only had he had 14 carries for 68 yards and
pedestrian.
So pedestrian compared to King Miller, who the freshman, by the way, but Jaden Miava, 25 for 32. 265 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did have that 1 interception, but it looked like there was defensive pass interference on that. On that play. So, but dude, this Michigan defense, man. It's
Yeah,
not
I want
only
to ask you about that.
yeah.
Why is Wink Martindale regressing in this year too? Why do you think the reason is?
Let me see. All right, let me think about this. This is pretty obvious.
Yeah,
He doesn't have Mason Graham or Kenneth Grant wreaking havoc in the backfield, not giving the
yeah.
quarterback a lot of time and forcing the ball to make mistakes for for the secondary. And just like these quarterbacks are just able to stand in the pocket and fire
They have
away,
all day.
man. They have all day. There's no
Barham's the
pressure.
only one that's getting home for them.
And dude, I'm starting to see that Barham just doesn't know how to take a correct angle
Sure.
at the quarterback, dude. He
Yeah.
either I mean, dude, have you ever noticed that? He kind of like
He's a lot like Devin Bush. He kind of gets like in a leaning forward position and chasing the quarterback, and he loses his balance and leverage. Yeah, yeah, I've
and
seen it.
just like we heard all off season about this defensive line. That was it was being propped up like it was they were saying it was going to be better. I'm like, dude, there's no way. It's an easy feat to
Yeah,
replace Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant, the best interior defensive lineman that Michigan has more than likely ever had. 2 top 15 picks.
right.
And they were like, "Oh, Damon Payne." Well, Damon Payne only has 5 to 7 tackles on this season. TJ
Hmm.
Guy has been nowhere been to be seen.
Sure,
Rayshon
Benny.
Barham, yeah, Rayshon Benny. He's doing okay.
I
Trey,
thought he was going to be a stud, man, but he is underperforming expectations. Let's be honest.
and then you
As
have
is the D line, and
the
then you talk about no Will Johnson.
yeah
Rod
no
Moore is back, and he's added a little stability maybe to the secondary, but Hill is not great in coverage. Hillman, all he really does is hit. He can't cover that well, and the
Jair's
secondary is just
liability.
in shambles.
And here's what I noticed. Their perimeter game is the same as last season, dude.
Yeah,
It's not that
poor
great.
angles.
Poor angles, poor tackling. And
Yep,
Ohio State better take note, man. No more trying to run down the middle against this interior line.
looking
It's
better.
time to start playing the perimeter. The USC did that well, dude. Each of their screen passes went for 20 plus yards. I didn't see one that
It
didn't.
was consistently working for them, and Wink had no answer, which is shocking because he was an NFL coach for a long time, and
I'm telling you,
it's
man.
hilarious.
Having Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant was quite the commodity for him. But that's no more, dude. The last of the championship team is gone.
Yeah,
You have Sharon Moore's roster. You have his staff. His just it's all his, and it's
yeah.
just it's not working. And don't you know what? Bryce Underwood, yes, he's talented. He has
Let's talk about
promise.
him.
But he's been really underwhelming. And yes, you have to look at his receivers, and I could imagine he's
Yeah,
frustrated, but he he only knows one throwing speed, and that's a fastball, man.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
that
He hasn't developed touch yet and
no,
different
he
throws.
especially on those long balls, dude. He may have nobody's saying he doesn't have a cannon rocket for
He
an
has
arm.
a really strong arm.
It's just that he doesn't know his own strength. He doesn't know how to put touch on the ball,
Yeah.
loft it, and just
Let
I
his
don't know, man.
receivers run underneath it.
For
Let's
the
look at
season,
Julian Sane in that department. He puts so much arch under his deep balls, man. It is so beautiful to watch. Even if it's not that accurate, which most of them his are, his receivers can adjust and they have time to adjust.
yeah.
And that's why
So
they're hitting those deep balls like they are.
yeah, Bryce Underwood's stats are 1,210 yards, 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions on the season, 71.6 QBR. But this completion percentage, 59.7 completion percentage. And Peter, you were saying it was last in the Big Ten.
Dead last in the Big Ten.
You know, there's still time for improvement. You know,
There is.
they have 2 losses. I
Yeah.
mean, who knows what's going to happen this week against Washington? But as of right now, they could only be playing to beat Ohio State. So there's room for improvement against Ohio State. But dude, I don't see it getting much better only because of these. He doesn't have receivers, dude. He
I'll
just
tell you what,
doesn't.
man.
I mean, Andrew Marsh, dude. Andrew Marsh. I'll give him that.
He's freaking good. Yeah, he is real nice. Back-to-back games now. I know it's the last week, and then he performed again. He had that nice touchdown where he shook the defender and got in the end zone. He is going to be good. He is going to be good. We'll see how things develop and their chemistry develops over the years. But, yeah, Underwood and the offense need to find something, especially if Justice Haynes is going to be injured. I haven't heard anything, and Michigan is always hush-hush with their injuries. I don't think it's too serious, but he didn't return to the game, so I know that. So it was enough to keep him out, and he was their workhorse, and he was their offense so far this season. And if they're without him, that spells a lot of trouble because, as you mentioned, 14 for 68 for Jordan Marshall. He's not a bell cow back. He might be able to spell you a little bit, but he's not a lead back type of guy. We've seen enough from him this year to understand that he's not that guy. So we'll see what happens the rest of the way with Jerome. The schedule does afford them some opportunities for more wins than if they played last year's schedule. Let's be honest about that. But when you watch them play, they're just not dominating anything. Even their special teams suck now.
Yeah, their special teams is a big problem, man. Their punt team, man.
Yeah, that's the big one that stands out to me too. Yeah,
I mean, they gave USC some good field position at times,
sure did.
and
Some terrible punts.
Here, I mean, here's a stat that I haven't looked at this yet, but dude, they got beat on the time possession. USC possessed the ball for 33 minutes, 22 seconds. Michigan only 26 minutes and 38 seconds. That's what I'm talking about, man. If you're having trouble scoring points to begin with, and someone's killing you in the time possession, you're not going to get enough opportunities, dude. You're going to always I don't know, man. And the thing that really stuck out to me, dude, what type of, it seems like there's already a culture shift. It's only been like a season and a half of Sharon Moore.
Sure.
There's no sense of urgency of the dude. He just
I'm with you.
He has, or he's smiling on the sideline like something's funny. Bryce Underwood sitting on the bench smiling. Okay, yeah, the $12 million check just cleared. So
right.
And here's the thing,
Sharon always has that deer in headlights look, and you've pointed out before, and I've seen it before too. And he just doesn't seem to he doesn't seem to be like mentally engaged with what's going on in the field to me. Like he doesn't seem to be communicating with anybody. Anytime he's shown on camera, he's literally just standing there staring straight ahead. He's not talking to his mic to anybody. He's not communicating with his coaches. He's not communicating with his players, not talking to them one-on-one. And it just seems like he doesn't the job is too big for him, I think. Oh, yeah. Maybe I'm wrong in that, but it seems like the job is too big. And perhaps
I think he needs to be at like not a Power 5 school, but more of a Power 4 school.
Sure.
But here's the thing, man. Dude, the season's not looking too good. I wouldn't be surprised if they lost to Washington at home. I wouldn't be surprised at all. But next season, for the 2026 season, Oklahoma, Indiana, depending on who Penn State's coach is, you're at Ohio State.
Yep.
You're at Oregon.
You get fired, bro.
They
play at Oregon next year?
Yeah. So you're looking at the big games: Oklahoma, Indiana, Ohio State, Oregon, and depending on who Penn State's coach is going to be, dude. So it's kind of like, do you really because they have some great recruiting classes coming? Do you really want to waste away the years of Bryce Underwood? And you know what? I'm starting to think like they brought in Chip Lindsey to revamp this offense. I haven't seen anything.
Ain't seen it, man.
Have not seen it. Offense. What's new about it?
Now, we talked to Cliff and Mac in the offseason, and we thought maybe they would kind of slowly, gradually bring Bryce along under this Chip Lindsey offense. But I don't see any kind of progression. I don't see any kind of growth. I don't see any new plays. It just doesn't seem like they're allowing him to be the athlete that he is. Kind of like Pryor at Ohio State at times. Now, we let him run a lot more than than Michigan is letting Underwood run. But there were times where Tressel's offense kind of constricted Pryor's athleticism at times, and that's kind of what I'm seeing here in the Michigan offense. So
I mean, so
not good.
You're trying to say that they don't let him run enough, so he's basically a run first quarterback. I don't know, man. Like, dude, I don't necessarily blame Bryce Underwood for but it's just like, dude, I think there's so much scrutiny because all the hype that was put on this dude come in as an 18-year-old and just be the savior of the program right away. So
Right.
it's kind of like I don't know, man. Like,
I'm loving it. I'm absolutely here for it.
I mean, I'm loving it too, but it's kind of like, man, I don't know, man. There's talks about how the fan base wants Sharon Moore fired.
Oh
There's
yeah,
talks, give him some more time. Like, dude, what time?
What do you need to see?
This is his staff. These are his players, and this is happening under his watch. What more do you need to see?
Yep.
And then they bring up Jim Harbaugh. It's like, dude, do you really want to wait 7-8 years again? You have a possibly a generational quarterback at the helm. You have the number one running back coming in. You have a great defensive lineman class coming in, Carter Meadows and stuff. Do you really want to waste these years waiting for a head coach to get you to somewhere where he's just never going to take you? The writing's on the wall, Michigan fans. He's just not the guy. And we said this. I said this. You guys want to talk about how, okay, he filled in for Harbaugh. Harbaugh was at practice and just like, dude, cool. He won the audition, but now that he's in the main role full time, it's just not cutting it, man. The culture has shifted. It's no longer, the Harbaugh regime, the type of culture that he built. This is Sharon's Moore culture. It's happening under his watch.
I'll put it like this, man.
One more thing. Sorry. And the last of the championship team is gone. These are his players. No more Mason Graham, no more Kenneth Grant, no more Will Johnson, no more of the players that Harbaugh brought in. The previous staff developed. They keep talking about development. The previous staff is gone. They all went to the NFL for a reason. He left Sharon Moore because more than likely he saw Sharon Moore for who he was.
Dude, take it. You stole my thunder with that comment.
he took Mentor. He took Mike Autzen. He took Clinksale.
Yep, that's what I was gonna say. If Sharon Moore was worth taking, Harbaugh would have taken him to the NFL.
There's no reason why he wouldn't, and he would have left Mentor there if Mentor was the quote unquote
the weak link,
the weak link of the staff.
Yep, that's what it boils down to me for. He'd be in the NFL if he was worth his salt as head coach. He might be a head coach great head coach in the future. He's still very young, but right now he's not that coach. He's not that head coach. There's potential he'll be that in the future, but I'm not seeing it, man. His in-game decision is not great.
There's very few first-time head coaches who can make it at big-time programs, and we've seen two take over. Built up programs and haven't missed a beat. Lincoln Riley and Ryan Day.
Yeah. Yep. Maybe Dan Lanning, throw him in there too, because I would consider them a fairly major program. But yeah, man, it's not easily done, and it's a rare thing, and it's a weird thing. It's a new phenomenon in college football, that's for sure. But yeah, it's exciting to see, and I'm glad we got one that has proven that he can handle this. The high pressures of a big time college football job. But anyway, that's all I got for this week, man. Rob, you got anything else before we get off?
Nah, man. You know what? We're gonna see what this Michigan team is made of this weekend. We're gonna see how they respond to that road loss. Not just a road loss, dude. They got ran off the field, man.
Can they rebound?
500 yards, 31-13. Can they rebound against the Washington team? What I'm gonna say is no. They like, I heard people say, "Oh, Washington's not special." Well, dude, like, Washington is a great one-loss team. You know they lost?
Pretty nice.
The number one team in the nation. That's their only loss.
It's the only blemish so far.
But yeah, man.
They should be ranked. I think the Huskies are going to give them all they can handle in the big house. And it's going to be once again a fun weekend to watch. So
If the Wolverine faithful is pissed off now, just wait. If they lose to Washington,
back
which
to back
I think they
losses.
will, man. I think they will.
Yeah, I know that's what you're predicting. I'm pretty much on board. If Haynes is out for that game, I'm fully on board with Washington winning that. And maybe even if he does play, Washington is still that good. So, well, that's gonna do it for this one. Go Bucks and God bless. We will see you on the next one.
OH.
IO.